Hey everyone, welcome to another video. Today we're going to talk about issue number 5 of Wolverine, written by Saladin Ahmed and art by Martin Coccolo. But before we dive into the story, I want to ask you a favor. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and a comment to help the channel grow. So with that said, this issue opens with a narration from Wolverine as the golden metallic material threatens to take over his body. And that narration went as following. Wolverine knows he is in a place beyond his body, surrounded by a call that repeats over and over. But some part of Logan knows this place isn't real. Some part of Logan knows that his body is standing on a mountain road, paralyzed. So with everything Wolverine had, he forced himself to return to the present. But still, he couldn't move, and something he couldn't see or smell was calling out to his very bones. And whatever it is, it has a hold of Lady Deathstrike, and to make it worse, Logan just watched her spread it to the Constrictor, and now they are trying to spread it to him. So as Lady Deathstrike and the Constrictor outstretched their hands, the golden metallic material went from their hands and onto Logan himself. And within seconds the material has gotten within his head, and Wolverine isn't a loser, for he has had a lot of people in his head over the years and he has gotten good at keeping them out. But whatever this was, it was different. Whatever has taken hold of Lady Deathstrike and the Constrictor is now within him, and he could hear its voice inside of him, and it was calling out loudly, promising purification. But the crazy part was, it wasn't talking to him, for it was calling out to the metal that coated his bones. And all of this was going on while he couldn't even move, not even his eyeball, let alone his legs. All he could do was struggle in silence for just a few moments. But sometimes a few moments is all someone needs. And just like that, the Wendigo came crashing onto the scene and went straight for the two possessed people. Now Leonard came in like the cavalry, and Wolverine wasn't sure if he came because he was bored of waiting or if he just smelled the blood that was everywhere and thought it was lunchtime. But whatever the reason was, Wolverine was grateful, and with a giant bite, the Wendigo just ripped the Constrictor's shoulder clean off. But to everyone's surprise, he didn't even flinch. So following that, for just a moment, Wolverine worried that Leonardo was gone and only the Wendigo remained, but then he felt Leonard scoop him up carefully. And just before Logan passed out again, he heard Leonard say his name. And while he was out cold, Leonard did all he could to dodge and evade the two trained killers before him. And with crazy luck, Leonard was able to do just that, as he hid and allowed them to pass him by. So with our hero safely put away, on the next page, as Logan slowly came to his senses, he realized that his limbs still felt like jelly. So as Leonard carried him, Logan thought to himself whatever had hold of him, influence seemed to wane with distance. But getting that distance was the hard part, for the Wendigo struggled to keep one step ahead of Lady Deathstrike and the Constrictor. But Wolverine knew that it would only be a matter of time until they would catch up with them. And while all this was going on, Wolverine couldn't help but to feel terrible that his issues were spilling over to the kid, and Wolverine couldn't live with himself if the kid was killed because of him. So with great effort, Logan told the kid to put him down and leave him, because like I said before, those who were following them were only after Wolverine. But no matter what Logan said, Leonard refused to leave him no matter how much he yelled at him. But unfortunately, time was running out, for Logan was able to catch their chaser's scent once again. But this time, Logan could tell there was another scent layered over them, a cold metallic smell. Now at this point, usually people start to pray for angels to save them, but all Logan did was look to the sky and wait for what was about to come. And out from the sky, Nightcrawler appeared to save the day. And with the help of the Kraft's concussion missiles, Nightcrawler was able to create some distance between the metallic minions and Logan and created enough space for Logan and Leonard to catch the ride. And soon after they escaped, Logan unloaded everything that happened to Kurt and even told him that he felt the attack in his bones. So with that said, Kurt had to ask if Logan wasn't sure it was a telepathic assault. To which Logan said it felt different and more primal. And to make things more confusing, for the life of him, he couldn't understand what Lady Deathstrike and the Constrictor had in common until he looked down at his own hands and realized it was the adamantium. So with that realization, Kurt went to hug Wolverine, but before he could, Leonard went to scare Nightcrawler away, and almost instantly Wolverine had to calm him down. And following that, Wolverine went to apologize to Kurt. But Kurt didn't really mind, because from what he just witnessed, the Wendigo who was with him didn't attack Kurt out of rage, but because he was trying to protect Wolverine. So with that said, Kurt set the Blackbird to detect an unidentifiable energy signature from the Constrictor and Lady Deathstrike, and then programmed it to find and track any matching signature. And following that, 10 minutes later, 2 states away, Wolverine and Nightcrawler show up to a facility ablaze. And a few moments later, both Kurt and Logan appeared on the floor, and out of safety, they had to leave Leonard on the Blackbird because of all the blood on the scene. And let's just say, this place was completely trashed and so many people were killed. So as Wolverine continued to walk, he suddenly stopped in his tracks and caught a familiar scent, the scent of Cyber. Now the last time Logan saw Cyber, he was running away with his tail between his legs after he gouged his eyeball out. And just as soon as Logan saw him, he knew that the same thing that got Lady Deathstrike and the Constrictor got him too. And it had a message for Logan, and that was no more adamantium. So with Wolverine completely aware that someone is after all the people with adamantium in them. So with this going down, Wolverine went on the attack again, but this time Cyber just put his hand up and said, Logan is deafened by the screeching of the false metal within him. And then he went on to say Logan hadn't yet heard the call of the adamantine. And just like that, the world went dark and disappeared again. And once more Wolverine felt that unnameable presence in every one of his bones. But the difference was Wolverine was ready this time and was prepared to push back. So Wolverine clawed his way out of the vision or illusion or whatever the hell it was, only to find Cyber collapsing like Logan cut him. And at that moment Kirk teleported in and told Wolverine that he was able to get most of the workers away. But quickly he realized Logan wasn't doing so hot and went to his side to check on him. And somewhere in the earth below, ancient metas shifted and twisted in contemplation. And on the last page, we get a narration from the metal itself saying, the other screeching wielders of false metal were weak and easily seized. But this one that makes no unnecessary noise is stronger and purer, and perhaps all the true champions have not crumbled into dust. And then it said perhaps this one called Wolverine could serve its purpose, but only after it breaks him. So with that said, this issue of Wolverine comes to an end. Now down in the comment section below, let me know your thoughts about this issue and what predictions you could have moving forward. So with that established, I hope you enjoyed this video, and please don't forget to leave a like and a comment if you want to see more videos like this. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.